Gary Vee once said that if you're happy, you've already won. For this episode, we have the Vitagen boy, aka Bill Jeans, aka Nabil Mahir, and he shared with us what his journey was like making a transition from a commercial talent to a host, and also how he enjoyed playing games during his free time. Hi, this is Brylan, and welcome to another episode of Cultivating the Masses. This podcast is a collaboration between CultureTalent and Renegade Radio. Let's get to it! Hey dude,
What's up?
it's nice to have you here, Nabil.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you guys. Thank you for the invitation, guys.
No, it's more like the other way around. We're super happy to have you around. Right. Nabil, tell us a little bit more about yourself. What's your name? What's your age? And where do you come from? And just anything in general.
Okay, so my name is Nabil Mahir. My actual long name is Ahmad Nabil bin Ahmad Mahir. So I make it short, Nabil Mahir. So I'm baby on 88. So I'm 31 years old now. Still single, unmarried. So girls out there, I'm still single. Yo, what's up? So anyway.
Nice one.
So anyway, I'm a TV host. I started off doing commercial and decided to just jump into hosting after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of commercial, right? About a few weeks ago, I believe you shared one of the commercial that you did 11 years back, which is the
Ooh.
Vitagen commercial.
Was that 11
Right.
years?
It was released almost a decade ago. That's what we know for sure, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you want to share with us how did you actually got into that gig and what was it like?
Okay, so how I got into the commercial line in the first place was just a friend of mine just like contacted me and just like, hey dude, you want to make good side money? I was like, you should try doing commercial. I think you got the look, I think you got the skill, should just give it a try. So I just give it a try, and I was like, when I got the money, I was like, hey, damn easy money way. It's like people work for 1 month to get this amount. I'm just have to do 1 day.
Right.
It's like, hey, this is good money. And then I was like, yeah. But I splurge it on gaming. Buying console, buying games, controllers and stuff.
It's fine, dude. It's what you love at the end of the day,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Right.
But anyway, like on that day of that scene of doing that Vitagen commercial, is crazy because the set was in Ling Kok Wing. And I don't know why, but it felt like all the students in Ling Kok Wing didn't go for class that day.
Okay.
They were just there. Everybody was just there around the hall, the big area, right?
Right.
So they were just chilling there and just watching me dance like an idiot. So I was like macam tengah menari-nari. I'm just like macam, guys, go to class lah. Like, why are you guys still here? Damn it.
What was your age at the time? Which
Oh,
year was it
that
specifically?
I know that was High School Musical 3. So it was correlate to High School Musical 3. So I think that was like early 20s. I think like 19, 20, 21, somewhere there around there. It was like... ooh.
So you were the closest thing to Zac Efron at the time.
Supposedly, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Just now, in the car, I went through this question one more time, right? And I noticed there's a Vitagen commercial. I'm like, wait, that sounds very familiar. So I went through your feed and I found it. I'm like, oh, it's this guy. It's this guy.
Yeah, like during that time, nobody actually knows my name. So like commercial, right? Nobody knows the person's name, right? So like whenever I walk around, people go like, hey, Vitagen boy. And then just like I remember there's this one time I was on the escalator, then somebody like going up the escalator. Yo, Vitagen! And I'm just like, what? I was like, aku nama Nabil lah.
Knowing that you started off your career in that way, making your way through commercial and so on, and you get all these side jobs that you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But we also noticed that you made a transition more towards gaming.
Yes.
Yes. So maybe you want to share more on that because it's quite an interesting transition, to be honest. Like, which game was your favorite game? What was the first game that you actually played? And what made you really fall in love with game and so on? Yeah.
Okay, so to start off, I grew up playing games like since small. Like I think like I started playing since I was in kindergarten. Like that time it was before Nintendo SE SES or something like that. Like it was I can't remember. It was like a cartridge and it's like joystick. Like there's two joystick with one button on. It's like orange button on the top, and like on the side as well of that thing. So I can't remember what model is it? 68? Yeah, I think like Nintendo 68, something like that. Yeah. No, not that one. But like it's super old school, and I started playing Street Fighter during that time.
Okay.
So over the years, when Game Boy came out, I started playing Game Boy, but I started with Game Boy Color with Pokemon and stuff like that. I became really active during PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, when that came out, I was like, this is my world.
Yeah.
This is why I was born. This is why I was born. It was made for me. Like, the PlayStation, you are me. So,
I am the PlayStation.
Yes, I am the PlayStation. So I played tons of game, but if you were asking me about my favorite game, I would have to say Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is my all-time favorite because that is the one particular game that I played so many times over and over and over again. Because the first Metal Gear Solid I played 8 times. I finished the game 8 times. The second one, when on PlayStation 2, I played 6 times.
Wow.
I love Metal Gear Solid so much because every time you just keep playing, you start to discover a lot of other things like hidden gems in the game itself. So it's like, and you can actually do little extra tricks when you reset the game. So like it makes you want to just continue playing and over and over and over again. And it's just Hideo Kojima, right? By Konami. He's incredible. He's just incredible guy.
Growing up playing games, right? Us in Malaysia, we tend to have this our parents' mentality where they say, main lagi game tu, main lagi game, right?
Betul.
So, what was your experience like with that one? That experience itself, can you share with us with that one as well? It'll be interesting though to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. That one definitely betul. Like it happens in my house. When I used to play too much game, my mom will nag me and stuff like that, and I'm just like macam, but it's me. These consoles, they created for me. You need to understand that. I need to play. If I don't play, defeat the purpose of the creation of this thing.
You went in all in.
Yeah, man. I was like perah benda tu lah. But then my mom didn't like. Nope. She was like, you need to study, you need to do your homework, you need to sleep early. But then like every night, like once everybody is asleep, I will like tunggu and like curi-curi, like bangun, slowly you turn on the TV and then like off the volume because last time tak ada headphones semua, right? So off the volume and then just play quietly.
Boleh pula.
Yeah, boleh. Like macam sanggup. But like quietly, I wouldn't play like Metal Gear Solid punya kind of game. I would play like something like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, Taken, all these kind of games, like fighting games that like macam you don't really need the sound to understand. Then I'm just like macam, okay, game on, game on. It's like I'm gonna kill you.
Has it ever got up to that point where you lost the game but you're playing late at night, so you have to stay silent, so you go like,
oh, got. Definitely got. But luckily, my gaming room is downstairs and my parents are upstairs. So like when I want to sneak down, I have to just go down and like close the door and then just like macam stay silent, right? But then like macam pernah je yang macam I played like I think Fatal Frame. It was like this game where you're supposed to take pictures of ghosts. It was, to me, it's by far the most scariest game ever lah. It beats Silent Hills, Resident Evil or whatever. It was like the most scariest game for me. It was like, and that time I was so scared. I threw my controller. I just like, luckily my mom didn't come down. I was just like, oh, thank God. That would be even scarier.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, I think you're playing a game. You're focusing a lot more on the game called AOV, right?
Yes, Arena of Valor.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that transition like from console moving to mobile? I believe you're playing the mobile version.
Yes,
right?
that's right. Yeah. That's right.
So what was the transition like? Does it require a lot of getting sense of familiarity, or is just something that is natural for you? So
Okay,
I mean,
so-
I do play AOV myself.
Ah,
yeah, but
nice! What
I
character do
didn't-
you use?
I use a lot of the pretty basic hero. What is his name? Velhen.
Oh, Valheim. Yeah.
Velhen, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just main him all the way, but I stopped playing because a lot of my friends play Mobile Legend instead.
Yeah.
But I do know AOV has a huge community though.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not in Malaysia. Mostly in Bangkok.
Right.
Bangkok is huge. It's like in Bangkok, AOV is as big as Mobile Legend in Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah. So in Malaysia region, Mobile Legend is the king. But then me and my friends, like, we choose AOV because of the graphic. The graphic is
True.
is way it's
A lot more
way
detailed.
and like they just came out with a new update, and the graphic is even more insane.
Oh really?
Yeah, like even like the riverbed, you can see like water streaming and stuff
Oh,
like that.
that's
It's like
nice.
super detailed. I'm just like, but the problem is, your battery will die really fast, really fast. Like I think like by 5th game, your battery will be like 5%.
Oh my god.
Like it's about to die, you know, like it's
Yeah.
crazy. But then it's worth it lah. But like to your question about how's the transition,
Yeah.
right? I think it's more because of how we live our life these days, is that we are always on the go. So to be seated in front of a TV, we don't really get that privilege all the time anymore.
Yeah, as much as we used to.
Yes, exactly. So like, yes, I still play my PlayStation because I love Spider-Man game, by the way. Like, it's awesome. You guys haven't played Spider-Man, you have to try Spider-Man. It's awesome. It's so awesome. But anyway, but I am biased because I love Spider-Man, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, like I think it's because of the convenience of playing that game, because as a gamer, I need my daily dosage of playing games, and I cannot be there and playing PlayStation every single day. But having my phone all the time, I know that I can still play my games. So, but the thing is, all this while, I never played that kind of game, like MOBA kind of game.
Yeah,
because,
strategy games.
I play strategy in terms of like Command and Conquer and
Oh,
stuff
right,
like that.
right.
But then I do not play Dota.
Okay.
I don't play Dota. I don't play LOL
Right.
on PC because I tried. I suck so bad. My friend was I was at the CC, and he was playing 2 console. He was playing
Right.
his PC and my PC right side by side, because like I was that bad. So I was that bad in Dota. So I was like telling myself like, okay, maybe this is not the kind of game that I
Right.
can play. But then after a while, my friend he introduced me with AOV, right? And I asked him like, hey, if I want to start this kind of game, one thing I really suck at it. 2 is that I just don't know how to play this kind of game. Like, I don't know,
Right.
like for what? Like macam
Right.
I never really had the interest with this kind of game. But then until he said one thing, and one more thing is that I said like, if I want to play, I wouldn't play AOV. I would say I play Mobile Legend because it's famous in Malaysia,
Right.
right? But he punching me one thing only. He said, but bro, AOV hey, they license with DC, you know. So they have characters like Joker,
yep.
they have
Batman.
Superman, Batman, Flash, and
Yep.
Wonder Woman. So I was like, but the one that really clicks me was Joker, because I dressed up as Joker before, cosplay as Joker and stuff.
Yeah.
I love Joker characters. So
Right.
when he said Joker, I was like, macam, huh? What? That's Joker? Then like I instantly install that game. I just poke. Then I just realized. Oh
It's a
man,
subconscious thing, dude. You would never know that is
Oh my
happening.
god,
Yeah.
it's true. It's a Malaysian thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So anyway, like I instantly downloaded AOV, and right after I spent about 80 ringgit on the spot buying that character of Joker, and I
Right.
started playing that game ever since. But now I don't really use that character anymore. I found like a better character that.
What's your main?
Now my main is Zanis.
Oh, okay.
My main is Zanis. I have always been more of a warrior assassin kind of character.
Yeah,
I'm always the jungler.
Oh, okay.
I'm always the jungler. So the good thing about jungler is like you always be at least 2 level higher than
Yep,
everybody, so
yep.
you can tap out anybody.
Yep.
But if you messed it up everybody gonna blame on you. Everybody gonna put pressure on you, like, dia punya jungle ni teruk lah. Just like macam,
betul. Yeah,
you guys not helping me, you know.
And some of them even steal some of your creep as well.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's the most
Like macam
annoying part.
like jungler is supposed to be one. Why is there four? Like
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
jungling, you know. Like macam you don't understand your particular role, and then you want to just blame
Yep,
me. It's
exactly.
Like, that's not fair.
Exactly.
Ngadu,
Luckily, like me, I play a marksman role, so people don't blame as much as, as it is, right? So I'll just stay in the mid, walking around,
True.
just
But
roam around.
you gotta make sure you have the most kills.
Yep,
Yeah,
that is
because
true. That
MM
is true.
is very
Crucial in the
very
late
crucial.
game.
Yeah.
Very crucial in the late game.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, did I even answer your question? I'm not too sure anymore.
I think you did. It's making the transition to mobile itself, right? Man, it's so nice having you here. The energy is on fire right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going crazy. It feels good to have someone have the same level kind of energy as I am. Like, just
I'm
laugh as
actually-
loud as they want.
I'm really glad to actually meet you guys here
Right.
because like I feel the energy from you guys, and I know you guys are gamers as well, because like whenever I talk when I say a particular game, everybody can hear, I can see like nodding and just like macam yeah, I'm just like macam my people right here in this room. Where have you guys
Right.
been in my life?
I do have a question. You do mention that inside AOV itself, you have a guild that you
Yes.
have, right?
Mm-mm.
How did that came about? How did that started? Was it by you just created out of nowhere, or yeah?
Okay, so the guild started from that friend that introduced me to AOV and myself. So we were the pioneer of this game. We started together. Like after that, we started building communities in terms of we start pulling our friends. Like all the friends that we used to hang out. What used to hang out? No. All our friends that we hang out with, we started to like punching around. Say, hey, come on, play this game. It's damn fun. And a lot of them are actual gamers as well. So, but they stopped playing, like I said, because of the lifestyle that we are in now. So they have been looking for games to play that is mobile as well.
Yep.
So the guild started because I think the reason why is we started a community of friends that been searching for a place to play together, but didn't really find gang to play with. So when we started inviting friends and like, hey, jom lah main lah, like this game is like damn gempak and stuff like that, and they give it a try, and they just like macam they got hooked into it, and then they started calling their friends, and then like when they call their friends, which is not in our circle, then they have to be in probation. Yeah, they have to be probation. Everybody are under
do you mean by
probation. Probation is like okay, you get to play with us because like macam kita macam pro lah kan. So like macam okay, you want to play with us, okay, like you're on probation, then like macam we will like macam guide you lah, like especially new players, right, because they don't know they don't know what build they want to use, what character suits them best. So like we actually train them at the same time, like okay, what is your style, like what kind of gameplay do you like, and like we will give, like sometimes for example the way we help them is that like let's say they use right, but they're not used to it, they just keep dying. So we start giving a different build, not so much on attacks, but we give a bit more buff on defense, so they don't die so fast, so they can just get used to the character first, then only transition to like a different set of builds, so they can just like get stronger and stronger. So we train people like that. So now talking about the guild is that there's an upcoming tournament that's coming up.
Right.
It was supposed to be last week, but then they postponed it to 2nd of August, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really excited for that tournament. We sent two teams from our guild. Our guild is Spicy Tentacles.
All right.
Yeah, so
that's a very nice name.
Thank you. So the best part about our guild, right, is like it's called Spicy Tentacle, right? S then 10T. Spicy Tentacle. So S10T. So with our name, like my name, my ID is always Bill Jeans. So and then on the side in the bracket got S10T. But if you see it one go, it's like Nabil Bill Jeans, It's like
Oh,
S10T,
okay,
right?
okay,
It's like, it
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like Siot, you know? So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Biljin Siot. So
Ah,
everybody in our guild was like, weh, Siot dia ni. I was just like, macam, yeah.
Right. As much as you're a gamer,
Mm-hmm.
you're also a host,
Yes.
right? Which one of those two speaks more to you if you were to staple it as a career?
As a career, I would have to say hosting because it pays. What I do, it pays. But then, like, as personal, I would say gamer. Like, in my heart, I'm a gamer. But then, it doesn't pay for me lah, unfortunately. So, I'm not a professional gamer per se, like going to tournaments and like start winning millions. Like that guy, have you seen that guy that his name is Kyle something. He just won 3 million from playing Fortnite. He just won three
I've never heard of
million
that.
dollars playing Fortnite.
My God.
$3 million, man. Do you know that Tiger Woods didn't even win that much?
My God.
Tiger Woods, the most he won was one game was about 2 million plus, about 2.8, 2.9, something like that lah. But then like a e-sport, a 16-year-old kid just won 3 million
Yeah,
playing
that's the thing.
e-sport.
Yeah, that's the thing. I do believe like people should stop. People should break that stigma of like esport is not going anywhere, because clearly it is going somewhere,
it
right?
is.
I mean, I myself, I play Dota, right? And I still remember which international tournament they did was one of the highest paying price point for any esport ever, right?
Yeah.
And that definitely revolutionized the whole industry of esport.
Yeah.
And it's really going somewhere else right
Yep.
now. Even like mobile phone esports, right?
Mhm.
They even prepare the phone for you to play there, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing,
Just to
man.
make like basically marketing lah, but then
Right.
like just to make sure like saying that it's optimal,
Yep.
optimized performance and stuff like that. I was like,
mm.
oh yeah, pretty cool lah.
Right.
Like, I also want my guild to be sponsored. Any brand out there?
That's a good one.
ROG, Asus.
We're looking at you. Yeah, I mean, going back to working as a host, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the perks you get as a host? Also, what are some of the things that comes to you as a challenge?
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me answer you with the challenge first. Then only
Yep.
I give you the perks. So the
Definitely,
challenge,
definitely.
first of all, like I told you, I started off with commercial, right? So the thing is, I can't speak for nuts. I honestly, like last time before I became a host, I couldn't speak at all. When in front of camera, if I see a camera in front of me, I just cannot speak. I can act like expression wise, but I cannot speak. And I realized this when I was doing this one particular commercial where my character, my role was to be a host. And that's when I had so much trouble shooting there on the set. So from there, what made me feel like, you know what, this is my weakness. I do not want to go through this weakness anymore. So I started taking classes. And I started becoming a host. And like, I actually just wanted to prove myself that I can speak in front of the camera, but then end up being my periuk nasi basically. Like macam tiba-tiba I become a host and like macam getting jobs and stuff. But I'm just like, alhamdulillah, you know. Yeah.
So you actually took classes for that.
I took classes, 6 months course. During that time, Dato' Aznil Haji Nawawi, Pak Nil, so he conducted classes for 6 months for about 20 students per intake. So I was one of his early students. I was in intake 2. It was called On Air. So I was in On Air 2. If you've seen Trivago, have you seen the Trivago commercial? That girl, right? She's from On Air 1. She started from there as well. But basically, like, after that 6 months grooming, I decided to just go for it. Just went all the way with hosting. And now let's talk about perks, right? So when it comes to perks, it's beautiful because like for me, my I was so fortunate because I got the chance to go to US and a few other countries to interview Hollywood actors. So that was just the pinnacle basically. Like it came to a point where I didn't feel like I was working anymore. Like
Right.
money was coming in, but I wasn't looking at the money.
Yeah.
I was just like, I love doing this. I don't care about the money. If you don't pay me, I will still do it. I came to that point because like I love it so much because one thing about me, I love traveling. So being a host, I got to travel, and then everything was paid for. It was basically doing junkets. So junkets is basically going to a movie premiere and interview the cast of that movie. So everything was paid for, including allowance was given. And then accommodation was like 4 seasons and stuff like that. It's like macam I was like, wah, aku tak pernah pun duduk kat 4 seasons. Tiba-tiba dapat duduk free ya. You know, it's like macam, gempak dah. Yeah, macam like dekat reception just like macam, oh hi, and everything is so cool and stuff. Just like that, chill. Tutup pintu just like, oh my god, I'm in 4 seasons. What? Takut weh. Tapi bila buka pintu balik macam everything is cool, everything is chill.
That's some hilarious shit, man.
Yeah, man, but it's true. But that's the beauty. It's like you get to experience all these things that you never dream of that you would ever experience in the first place. Because like macam I would never imagine of paying four seasons rate, you know, it's like way so expensive for one night. But then like macam everything was paid for. So I was like, this is rezeki. And on top of that, I'm in different state. I was in LA. I was going back and forth to LA to New York like in a month at least twice and stuff like that. And I get to meet all these stars. And like one thing about me, I love movies. I love watching movies, getting to know these characters and like these actors and stuff like that, right? So when I get to meet them in person, it's like meeting your hero.
Right.
You know, like one of the biggest one was The Rock, doing The Rock Johnson. I got to meet him. I'm just like, oh my god, The Rock, you are in front of me. You are huge, bro. Like I know you're huge in the world, but you're like literally you're huge in front of me. You know, it's like it was crazy because I felt like, dude, this guy is so big. Like I knew he was big.
Yeah.
But like when seeing him face to face, sitting right in front of him, talking to him, you know, like. It's so big. It's crazy because like, okay, how you look at me right now, right? You're looking at me, but you can see my background.
Right.
Right? I barely see any background. Okay? He's that big. Like I can only see him. I barely see any background because he's taking up all my vision, you know? I was like, this guy is huge.
But what was did you actually had a conversation with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the kind of conversation that actually you guys had between each other?
So like or mostly all during the interviews because every person only get 4 minutes. So whatever you want to say, you have to just cram it in that 4 minutes, right? So but like how I was talking about the rendang actually during that time because there was during that time there was this issue about rendang. What was the issue? Like macam. Like, I can't remember what was the issue there. It was a big Malaysian issue about rendang, crispy rendang or something like that. So like, it was a big issue in Malaysia. So when I heard about it, I went to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I talked to him about it. I was like, macam, you know, like you are like rendang and stuff like that. And then he was like, yeah. It sounds about right. I'm just like, this guy is cool, man. Dia memang layan je. And like, the beauty of being a host is that when I get to experience stuff like this, is that you get to see them in person. Not only in person, but you get to see their character in person. Because like, that is one thing that they cannot fake. Because like, I have met quite a number of them. Some of them just like, it just turned me off. Like, oh, you used to be my hero in front of the TV, but now I'm just like, macam, I don't like you as much because as a person, you're you're actually not that nice. You know, like, but there are people that are really, really nice. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's super nice because I was one of the last person to interview him. He was super tired. He was there from morning to afternoon, to evening, and I was one of the last. And when I came in, I can see his face so tired.
Right.
But the moment he looked at me, he just stood up, just like, hey man, how are you? And just like his mood just lifted up and just like, you know what? I have to work, I work. And then just like continue conversation. And then after finish, when I want to go out, I look at him, he just like, like macam he's still tired, But then like he maintained the energy for
That job,
for work
his work,
basically. Yeah. So like I have so much respect for him actually.
Man, yeah, I mean it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Right. I do believe some of our listeners out there, some of them out there somewhere, do want to be a host as well. This is a question mainly for our listeners that wants to be a host, and also I think I should ask for a few advice as well from myself, right? From your experience as a host, what is that one thing that a host shouldn't do?
Shouldn't do. There is no, to me, there is nothing that you shouldn't do. And the only thing that you shouldn't do is cursing. That is a big no-no. You should never curse, like especially in front of the camera, especially live. That's really, really bad. But what you should do is always practice. That is the best thing. The best advice is always practice and keep on crunching. It's like the easiest way is just taking newspaper every day, like taking a newspaper or any article and just read it out loud while looking at the camera. So like whatever you read, like you can either, maybe for the starters, you can just like read it out loud. Then eventually you try to understand the whole article and just look at the camera and just start talking. Just like start telling a story, whatever you understand. And that is the best advice I could give. Like, and one thing that you shouldn't do, definitely not cursing.
Right.
I said poop before. Yeah. I said
And
poop.
then what happened then?
Yeah, like a few times I was like, okay, and I was doing live, okay? I was like throwing to commercial. I was like, okay guys, we're going for a commercial and I really need to go to the toilet because I really need to poop. Just like random, okay? And then like then I can hear my intercom from my earpiece, right? He was like, Nabil, you're not supposed to say you wanna go poop in TV. And I'm just like, oh well. Then like coming back, I was like, so guys, I just came back from the toilet. I did it again. I just had to laugh.
Right. Okay. Seeing you very energetic like this, right? It just pops out of my head wondering like, are you like this the moment you wake up? Or like how?
Okay. Waking up, I usually like macam start engine. I panaskan dulu. Like,
Right.
I will wake up, just chill on my bed, or like play with my phone first. Sometimes one game first, AOV. Then I was like, dah menang. I was like, okay, accomplished. Then I can wake up.
Like I also want to know, speaking of waking up, right? The moment you wake up, what's that one thing that you focus on?
The first thing I wake up is like, game on guys. Like, I terus buka WhatsApp. Any game? Like terus game question mark. Itu je yang pasal siapa-siapa yang macam jom. Okay on, main dulu.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's just to boost my mood.
Mood,
Like baru
right.
bangun kan, you macam tengah blur.
Right.
And one thing about playing game, it makes your mind active. It makes
Right.
you think quickly. You have to respond fast and stuff like that, right? So like when I start my gaming in the morning, before anything else, is just to pump myself up. And then like, especially after I win, I'm just like, I feel like a king. You know,
Right,
like, I'm
right.
just like macam, yeah, let's do this, man. Whatever I want to do today, everything's gonna be great.
What happens if it's the other way around?
If I lose, second game lah, bro. Second game lah. Tak nak kalah, bro.
Right. Just before we wrap up, I think we're almost coming to an ending of this
Serius
podcast.
lah,
Yeah.
lama. Chill lah. Awal lagi, let lu.
We can always have a part 2 soon, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you can always come over to Renegade Radio's show and talk a little bit more details about game, right?
Can,
Like
tak
right
ada
now, we're more keen to know you as a person, right?
Okay.
And that's the best. I think we've gotten the best so far, right?
Thank you.
So just before we end the episode, for all our listeners out there, right? What is that one thing that they need to watch or listen to before they go to bed tonight?
One thing I would recommend would be Casey Neistat, like from YouTube. he's one YouTuber that I always go back to because his video content is just great, you know, and like it inspire me to improve myself at the same time. Another guy that I would definitely okay, another guy.
Who is
Okay.
this? Who is this
Scratch
guy?
Casey Neistat. I would recommend everybody to watch Gary Vee.
There we
Gary
go.
Vee, definitely Gary Vee.
There we go.
Hands down Gary Vee, because I always watch his video in the morning, during night, all the time. I will still watch it. Like and sometimes I usually save certain video of his and keep watching it over and over again because it's super inspiring. And especially if you feel down, he will definitely lift you up back.
Right.
Yeah, he's one guy. If you're happy, you'll be super happy. If you're sad, he will make you happy. At least he will make you calm. He knows his words of wisdom is like the new generation of Gandhi, basically. To me lah. He's like a
lot more intense version of Gandhi.
Intense with like a lot of curse word as well. But then, like, he means so well, you know. And the only thing he wants is to see improvement in everybody. And like, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're happy, you win. That's it, you know.
Yep.
And Gary Vee, you're the man.
Like,
send this to him.
Speaking of Gary Vee, right? What is that one quote? I mean, since you're a huge fan of him, right? I just wanted to know, what is that one quote from Gary Vee that you always bring together with you wherever you go, whatever you do?
I just said it just now. As long as you're happy what you do, you win. That's it. And that particular word of wisdom from him is embedded in me. Like, to me, like, I think this is why I am how I am these days. Like, I've always been like this. I'm always been energetic and stuff like that. But then there are times where a lot of netizens out there like bashing and stuff like that, and it does bring a person down. It can bring a person down. But he always reminds me to just not care.
Yeah,
just
block all the noises.
just like toot it to him, to everybody else. You just like focus on yourself, be happy, and just keep on hustling. It doesn't matter what people want to say. It's all about you and your mind. That's it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look like a very happy person, man.
I am, man.
You really look like a happy person. I believe you've already won.
Yeah, netizens.
That's right. In your face.
In your face.
Right. Before we end this episode, do you want to throw any plugs to your audience and followers?
I don't know if they can actually watch because they didn't specify anything about like streaming that people can actually watch. But I would like you guys to follow me at Nabil Mahir on my Instagram, my Facebook, and also my Twitter. And also upcoming, just keep finding. It's not out there yet, but I'm actually opening up my own YouTube channel.
Nice.
So most probably it's just gonna be Nabil Mahir itself or Nabil Mahir official or something like that, similar. So just follow my Instagram and you will get the update. Yeah.
Great, man. That's that, guys. It's such an energetic episode, this one. Really. It was so nice with you, having you around. Like, it really boosts up the public holiday kind of mood, you know. Waking up this morning just feeling like a little bit drowsy, and there comes Nabil Mahir, just spiking up your energy, right? Okay, dude, thank you so much for your time and effort. Really appreciate it. We're super honored to have you on this episode, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys. Definitely. I'm actually really psyched for the next episode.
All right, cool.
See you guys.
Happiness over everything. Who said you can't be yourself? And that is exactly what we learned from Nabil today. I hope you gain tons of value from this podcast. And if you like this show, it will help us a lot if you could share it with your friends and also close ones. A big thank you to Nabil for spending some quality time with us. This was a collaboration between CultureTalent and Renegade Radio. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.